Hi everybody, I toast to you and all you do. I hope that you're having an amazing day, that you're anticipating spring. It should be exciting. So funny with the camera. Let's see. Nope. I just leave it alone. See, I'll mess it up. Anyways, so, I feel so short. I mean, I am short, but I feel really short. Oh, there we go. Hey, okay. So, I wanted to take some time to talk about the dark moon before the dark moon comes. So I was like, I better do it now while I have just a few moments. It's on Saturday, the 13th, in most places. I think maybe everywhere. I don't know. I could be wrong. Look it up in your area if you're really concerned about the specific moment in time that the dark moon is. As I remind when I make any of the dark moon videos, so when you look up okay, so most people will call it a new moon. Like on your calendar, like a normal calendar, it says new moon. And the new moon is that first moment that you see the little tiny light from the new moon. Now, there's a moment before that when the moon is completely dark. And just like the full moon, it only happens for actually like a brief moment in time. But this is when we often perceptualize it for a whole day. And it's when we can't see the moon. And her energy is kind of void. Not really void, but the mother's energy is void. And what's left is the crone's energy. Now, this energy can be kind of intimidating for some people. It can be overwhelming. You'll often see people say don't do magic under the dark moon. I would just have to say that magic at this time is a little more honest. It would be like doing magic with your grandma, who is honest and fun, but more honest, instead of doing it with your friend or your mom. So just kind of keep that in mind. Now, this next dark moon comes with Pisces, which is the last sign in the zodiac. It is a transitioning sign, a water sign. So it brings this really feminine dark wisdom to the dark moon, which is already really deep with that dark wisdom. So this is going to be a really powerful time for divination. It's also going to be really potent dream work. You probably already might have noticed you're starting to have dreams that are a little more vivid, and the closer we get to that, the more vivid they'll become. And so you can use that to your advantage and do a little magic to kind of specify that, or to help you remember, and just make sure that you're keeping your dream journal and writing it down when you're done. Like, I can't stress enough how important a journal is. Like, just write it down. Even if it's in like sticky notes and then later you put it somewhere where you're keeping, just write those things down. So this is also a time when you can search for deeper understanding. If you're doing some really deep pondering, meditations under this dark moon are going to be great to get that insight and to really dive deep, not only into the insight, into your like the intuitive truth of it, but also into that self-actualization and self-realization and kind of like those epiphany moments. And so again, this is one of those things that it's kind of like a gray area, because for some people this is really intimidating. It can be intimidating to dive deeper into your own emotions, into your own concepts and beliefs and things that you're contemplating. That's kind of scary, especially when you don't understand. So again, journaling can really help you. Write it down so that you can reflect on that later. But also, fear in itself is your enemy. So when we plant fear, it's like a seed that we're planting in everything that we do. So if you sit down to do some dream work and you're fearful as you're doing the spell work, you're putting together the charm bag, and you have that fear and you're scared, that fear plants like a little seed. And then while you're raising intent and you're thinking about that, pops into your brain, and you feed that seed and you think about that for a minute, and you don't automatically dismiss that and say, no, I know without a doubt this is my intent and this is what I'm doing and this is what will happen. Now, when you let that fear come in, it's like sprouting that seed and growing, and it grows out like mustard seed, and it just takes over. If if you're not familiar with mustard seed, it takes over. Vine root, a lot of times we call it a ground honeysuckle. It also, another weed that just comes out and takes over. Ironweed, another one. I've had it growing in the side of my house. Like when I lived out in the country, it was like up the door and out the side of the house. It was insane, and I could not get rid of this weed. But anyways, that's what fear is. And so you start planting those seeds of fear, and you're like, oh, this is the dark moon with this dark energy, and it's going to bring in bad dreams. Then that seed is going to grow and blossom, and that's what's going to happen. You're going to manifest that energy. If you're doing any kind of magic, it doesn't matter what it is, but if you plant that seed in there of fear, and then you focus it on it just for a minute, and you don't sternly remove that, and really focus your intent on what your intent is, and the manifesting the positive and manifesting what it is you want, that little bit of fear is going to cloud your water. It's going to make things murky. It's going to make your spell not manifest as well, or it could manifest the wrong kind of energy. So you have to be mindful when you're doing magic that it's not the magic that can be good or bad. There's no black and white and good and evil and blah, blah, blah. That's not in magic. What is your intent. And if you are focusing and manifesting what you need and what you want, and on bringing in the positivity or bringing in the understanding, then those are the things that you're going to manifest. If you focus on the fear and the doubt and the I can't, I won't, it's not going to happen, oh, that takes too much, or oh, some negative thing is happening, then that's what you're going to manifest. So it's not the dark moon that's intimidating or scary or like brings on this negativity, or whatever thing you want to put there. Darkness is just often that thing. It's how you use that energy. So now I'm done with that tangent. Sorry about that. Let's go back to the dark moon in Pisces. So specifically when it comes to the dark moon in Pisces, we're talking about, like I said, gaining a deeper understanding, connecting with that feminine magic. It also has the powers of imagination. Like if you are a creative person and you're having writer's block or artist block or whatever, and you can't manifest that your muse has left you, this is a good time to click that on and seek that energy, and it'll help you find that inspiration. It's also like this energy is sensitive. It's sensitive in that it can help you be sensitive to other situations. It can help you see something from a different perspective. It can help you be sensitive to, say, seeing something that wasn't there before, or to psychic or intuitive energy. It's not just sensitive like, oh, I have feelings and I'm sensitive. It can help you understand those, and it can be used with that, but it's not just the only kind of thing that I mean when I'm talking about sensitive. So it kind of goes... So the myth of Pisces is that the Titans were coming, and Pan ran through the land yelling to the other gods and goddesses, the Titans are coming, they're destroying the land, everybody run. And they were running, and I want to say it was Artemis / Diana. It could have been a different goddess. Anyways, I want to say Artemis, but I could be wrong. It's not the point of the story. So the goddess could not leave. She was bathing with her child in the river, and she couldn't get away. So Pisces appeared, twin fish. And together, the goddess and the fish, she had faith that they would save her, and she got upon the fish, and they saved her and her child, and they survived. And so Pisces earned its place as a constellation and in the zodiac as that savior, but one that you have to trust in, one that you have to listen to, one that you just kind of have to, okay, I'm going to go with this. And that is going to help you transform and find the truth and be where it is that you need to be. So it's in that, Pisces was sensitive to the needs of the goddess and of what was going on. And even if it meant sacrificing themselves or what, not. They were going to do this and do the right thing and take the goddess to where she needed to be and save her and her child. They're attached, they say, because the goddess did a spell to attach them. I don't know. It's been a while since I read the actual myth, but these kind of things really give, the myths really give insight into the energy that is brought forth by this. And in that story, you see that, again, Pisces came up and said, I'm going to help you. We're going to transform. We're going to do what we need to do. They dived deep into the water. The goddess didn't think they were going to survive, but she had faith. Oh, I'm losing my microphone. Hurry, come back here. Okay. Sorry. So in that, one, it's teaching us to have acceptance. And that acceptance is not just in that accept the messages that we receive, or, it's also in things like accept the help when you need the help. Accept the things, like, it's kind of cheesy, but I do remind myself of the AA prayer, accept the things I cannot change. Because these are things, there are just things you cannot change. And so you have to accept them so that you can move forward and move on. Also, accept the imperfections that you have in yourself. We struggle a lot in this world of like instant gratification and seeing all of these things and being bombarded with what we should, do this, everybody else is doing this, peer pressure, so many different, it's crazy. And instead of letting all of that kind of come in and overtake, maybe begin to accept who you are. And this is a great, oh my God, amazing time to do that with the grandmother goddess and the dark moon, and doing some self-love, doing some self-healing and rejuvenation, and transforming like a butterfly into something new. Let's see. So speaking of that transforming, in that transformation, it also means releasing fear. Whatever that fear is. We see fear do so much damage in our communities and in our world and in ourselves. Fear is what causes you to put up your defense mechanisms. Fear is what causes you to hate. Fear is just this yucky seed. It's what makes your magic fail. It's what makes you fail every day. There's so many things. It's not a productive thing. You know what fear is really good for? Saving you from a lion. You know what fear is also really good for? Keeping you away from the ledge so you don't fall off. These are natural fears. That's what fear is for. We live in this modern world where we're so much in our brain, and we're putting these natural, animalistic, primal emotions like fear to use in things that we're thinking about. Like I'm scared my spell's not going to work. I'm scared my boss isn't going to give me a raise. I'm scared that my kids aren't going to succeed. I'm scared. Like, there's so many things that you could say. And yet, fear is just holding you back. My mom used to tell me when I was a kid, what's the worst thing you're going to hear when you ask a question? And I'd say, no. That's it. No. Okay, fine. I guess no. That's the worst thing that's going to happen. So why not just ask the question? Don't assume you know, just ask. Don't let fear hold you back. And it's from that most basic place. Don't let fear hold you back from doing magic under the dark moon or with the dark gods. And by dark gods, I mean like Hecate, or, even the spider grandmother goddess, who's a beautiful goddess. I love her. But she is a dark goddess. What about the Holly King? The Holly King is a dark god. He represents the dark half of the year, but he's this jolly, warm, giving, nurturing, amazing, fun, loving god. So you can't let fear drive you to keep you away from doing all of these other things. So release that fear. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Okay, see, can make like a magical theme song with the Disney songs. Shh. Oh, I don't want to get in trouble. Probably can't say that. Anyways, so release anxiety. Again, anxiety is really good when you're like worried about surviving. Okay, I'm worried that I am not I mean, we have people who worry about this, and this is a legitimate reason to be anxious. I'm worried I'm not going to have a roof over my head. I'm worried I'm not going to be able to feed myself or my children. I'm worried that I'm not going to be able to survive. Those are reasons to be anxious. We start to overthink everything, and we are anxious about being late. We are anxious about hanging out with our friends. We are anxious about talking to somebody face to face, because we always have some kind of screen or typing or something in between us, and it's hard to talk to people face to face. So that brings up this anxiety. These anxieties are again holding you back, and under this dark moon, really think about that. Can we release those things? Another thing is we get really stuck in routines. Routines are really good for you. As a life coach, and I am constantly telling people, if you want to feel more productive in life, make a routine. But here's the problem with that routine, is that you get stuck in that routine and you never have a day off from your routine. As a parent and a mom, and I work from home and I do pretty much everything from home, it's really hard for me because I get into the same routine. I'm doing the same thing 7 days a week, 52 weeks out of the year. Like and sometimes my husband will come in and he'll be like, you're not cleaning, you're not doing chores today, get out of this routine, leave the house, or we're going to go do something or whatever, because I get so stuck in that routine and I'm like, yeah, I feel really productive. I'm getting all of these things done. So you have to remind yourself to step out of that routine and give yourself that break and look away. Do something different. Don't say every day I have to do the same thing. Let the routine help you be productive and put in a day off. Do something outside the norm. Find a way to change your routine to make it more productive. You don't necessarily have to say, okay, I'm done with the routine, I'm going to take a week off. You could say, though, I've done a little bit of time management analysis and I see that I am spending a lot of time doing XYZ. Let's find a more productive way to do that. I could save some time and add in some meditation. I could do some daily prayer. Whatever it is that you feel like you need, you're missing. Put it in there. Find a way to add it. Change up that routine. Don't get stuck in that same thing. Okay? And Pisces can help you make that kind of transition and release these things. So another thing that Pisces is really good at, and that the dark moon is also a really good time to kind of focus on these self-improvement, helping things. There are some things that Pisces can help you better understand. They can help you be more empathetic and help you sit in somebody else's shoes. So this is a good time to practice that and that kind of empathy. And I know that, a lot of people in the pagan community feel that they're empaths and that we can better connect in different ways. But when's the last time that you really truly thought what it was like to be in another person's shoes? Think about that person that you're judging. Oh, I'm judging this person. Okay, now step back. What would it be like to be in their shoes and be in that space? And sometimes you'll see, well, either I can't understand how they are being from this perspective, and maybe that opens up a place for you to go and be like, hey, I'm curious about your life and why it is that you make these choices. And not everybody's going to be comfortable with those kind of conversations, so maybe it's just something that's going to be left to another time. But can also help you see that, walking in their shoes, I can see, okay, this is why they're probably making those choices. I understand. And understanding is a big part of the battle just in life and being around other people and having a community and a society that's like productive. But patience is another thing that Pisces can really help you practice. Pisces waits and can be there and is ready when you need them, but just waiting, hanging out. And that patience you can tap into to help you have patience in like simple mundane things. Again, we live in this world of instant gratification, and you're sitting in traffic and it's so frustrating. Well, you didn't go as soon as the light turned green. Whew, take a breath. Is it really that big of a deal? Deep breaths, move on. Don't let it get to you. Have that patience. Have patience for yourself to learn a lesson, to achieve a goal, to get through the day, whatever it is that you need patience for. Just take that moment. Take a breath. And let this dark moon be that moment, to be that reminder, like, even if you only take 5 minutes or 10 minutes out of your day to stop and think, like, what's making me fearful? What's bringing me anxiety? What am I doing that I'm getting so frustrated with and that I need more patience for? What is it that I could better understand from a different perspective? And take those moments. Whew. Or you could dive really deep and you could do some guided meditations, or you could do some dream work, or whatever it may be, and gain that deeper understanding and better understand. So that's like in general about Pisces and Pisces magic and dark moon and kind of how they come together and where their energies kind of go. That deeper feminine wisdom, understanding, all of that stuff. Okay, so specifically this dark moon that's coming up is going to be very close to Venus and Neptune in our natal charts. Oh, there's a great thing that we should go over. I'll add it to the list. I got a list. What's going on? Anyway, so this one is going to be with Venus and Neptune and the Pisces, that love and sensitive and kind of bonding. I guess I didn't go over that so much because Pisces is a pair. There are two fish. They're attached to the tail. But it's that bonding, pairing. So there's love and connection, and being in close proximity with Venus and Neptune, it's going to emphasize that compassion and that bond, that love, and help bring that together. So this is going to be a great dark moon to like rekindle your love, to spend some time with someone you love, and find some passion in that. Remember why you love somebody. Find new love, or find love for yourself. Like I said, the Pisces moon is great for self-love, which reminds me, there is a great spell. See, it's like a segue I made. So a ritual bath under the dark moon. This is a great time to love yourself, to honor yourself, and do that by taking a ritual bath. So you need your bathtub, maybe some candles if you want to place them around, and so you have a couple options. You can use some different herbs. I would make sure that your herbs are going to be safe for the skin. Chamomile is really nice and soothing, but don't go putting like something crazy. Stick with a couple drops of rose water. That is amazing. Okay, add the rose water, sit in your bathtub, and calm yourself. You could add a little bit of black salt to do some transition. Like, I'm going to come out of this bath and I'm going to feel better. You can do a little bit of sensory deprivation work because you've got the candle in the dark. Let your ears go under the water so that you cannot hear the world around you, and just be present in that moment. Even if it's just for a couple minutes. Not go underwater, not be crazy about it. Just sit in the dark with your ears under the water, calm breathing, and just be present in that nothing. And give yourself that moment to reset. Transition, change, go on to what's next. So, I guess before we finish up, let me make sure I covered all of it. So, the moon in Pisces is associated with water and the feminine, like we talked about, ideal for magic in general, because Pisces is magical. That energy, that feminine, magical, transforming, Pisces, the witch, all of these things. It's just kind of magic. So it's great when you're looking to do spell work, when you're looking to do psychic work, if you're looking to expand your own psychic abilities and grow that, this is a great time. If you want to do astral projection or travel between realms, even past life regressions, this is going to be a great time for that because the energy is already set in that dark, calm, present energy. It's present. It's here. It can help you connect with the deities. Again, self-improvement. It's great for mental health. So if you're looking to feel better, again, this is a great time. That dark ritual moon bath, whatever, a ritual bath can do amazing things. Not just because they're healthy for you and they cleanse your body and you're taking that moment to calm and being present, but also because you can cast magic in that moment. And I always like when I'm doing a ritual bath to let the water drain out all the way while I'm still in it. And it's an interesting sensation to have the water drain out around you, but normally my ritual baths are for cleansing. And as that water is draining, I am focusing my intent. Like, as this water drains, it is taking away that which I do not need. It is taking away the negativity and the sadness and the emotions that I need to move on from. It's helping me to be clean and cleansed and ready for new things. I'm ready to experience something new. Let's remove the experiences I no longer need. So as that water drains out and I listen to it, and it's a full experience, if you feel the water on your body draining away, it adds power to that intent, and it changes it from just a bath, like, oh, I'm washing in the bathtub and it's relaxing, to real magic work. And it's that focus and that intent. And under this dark moon is really going to emphasize that specific transition, those kind of cleansings. You know, if you want to do some dark moon scrying, this is probably the best moon to do that under. The last dark moon in the dark season under the Pisces energy, you're going to probably get some really good scrying, some really good pendulum work, you know, any kind of psychic connection, but also creativity, you know, you can call on that, but I feel like creativity is more associated with full moon. However, if you're having that writer's block, like I said, or creative block, or you're trouble getting motivation to fulfill your creative needs, this will be good. Like, hey, spark that. Let me find the light in the darkness, because I'm in the darkness here in the dark moon under Pisces. Help me find that spark as the new moon comes so that I can start something. And again, this energy is really compassionate. It's really empathetic, charitable. This is a good time to find a charity, to go out and do charitable work, things like that. Beware, though, of getting lost in your fantasies, because Pisces is a dream weaver. Pisces will, and again, if you plant that seed and your brain takes it, it might just take it. So you got to be kind of mindful of that. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. It just goes on to talk about how Pisces is associated with your lymphatic system and your feet. Again, so your feet are the root, the base. This is the last thing on the body. And then the lymphatic system, that transition, the flowing, changing. So let's see if I covered everything. I think I did. Again, the dark moon is on Saturday the 13th. If you have any questions, you can always ask them right here. I love to see your comments. If there's something specific you want to hear about, let me know. I will share. And I hope all is well. I hope that you have a blessed dark moon. And many blessings to you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And hit the like button. Thank you. We'll see you guys soon.